unlock your natural swing motion. Well, what does that mean? We're going to show you tonight how for your entire golf history, and the reason you're here tonight is because you're struggling with your golf game. You're probably struggling to improve. You probably have looked at everything out there under the sun to try to get better at golf. I'm going to solve all of your swing issues tonight. I'm going to show you how to improve, and I'm going to show you an easy golf swing and a way to do that. My goal for you tonight is to finally, for the first time in your life, give you a solution to playing the best golf of your life with a simple golf swing. Hi, my name is Todd Graves. I'm co-founder of Graves Golf, and I'm here to simplify your golf game, show you a natural swing that's already inside of you, and then show you a simple and easy way to learn it. Now, let me give you a little history about me, just so you understand where I come from. I've taught thousands of people an easier way to play golf. I've been helping thousands of people around the world not only play better golf, save their back, enjoy the game more, but I've also simplified their golf swings. I'm author of a book called The Single Plane Golf Swing, Play Better Golf, the Mo Norman Way, and a recent book called The Intelligent Golf Swing, helping golfers become more intelligent, not only about a simpler way to swing, but also a better way to learn to swing better and play better. I'm showing people a solution to better golf. That's why you're here tonight. And I'm going to do that for you as we get into the program. Now, a couple things before we get started. I want you to know that I have sat exactly where you're sitting right now. Frustrated, trying to figure out my own game. And I'll give you a quick story. I am standing here tonight because of what happened to me when I was trying to play professional golf. I was standing on a tee box, and I'll never forget this, in New Delhi, India. It's a long way from home. And I was a rookie on the tour, and I'm playing golf for a living, and I'm standing on the tee, and I remember getting to the 18th hole, and the way I got there was I had played the round of golf, and I'd been struggling on the back nine. It was the last hole of the tournament, but I was struggling the entire back nine. And I remember hitting shots and just kind of losing my way. I don't know if you've ever felt that before, where you just lose it on the golf course. Can't find the ball. You don't know where it's going to go. And the problem with where I was, not only being so far away from home, was that this golf course was basically fairway and sticker bushes. They weren't manicured like the courses you see here in the United States. These courses in India, they had sticker bushes and snakes and animals and creatures all over the place. The last thing you wanted to do when you're playing golf in India is miss the fairway. And so when I finally, as I'm losing my swing, playing the back nine, I get to the final hole. I'm standing there with a driver on the 18th tee box. I got one hole left, and I'm frozen. I'm standing here like this. I literally can't move. I can't take the club back. I am stuck on the 18th hole. And I'll never forget, I don't know how, I don't remember even finishing the golf hole. I finished the round. I think I shot at 75, and I walked off that final green, and it was the tournament before I actually came back to the United States, and I said to myself, I don't ever want to feel that way again. I don't ever want to lose all the confidence I have in my game. I don't want to play golf like that. I don't want to be on the golf course and have no idea how to hit a golf ball. When I returned from the tour, the Asian tour, and I got back to the United States, I started working with the absolute best instructors I could find. I spent 3 years working with the absolute best instructors at the time. This was in 1991. And here's what happened to me. This is probably like you're looking all over the internet, you're searching YouTube, you're finding things instruction, you're watching television, you're probably working with some instructors. Maybe you've taken lessons before. I did that exact same thing. I always tell people, no one has spent more money trying to learn golf than me. And I was doing that in 1991 when I got back from that experience in India. And 3 years into that experience of working with the best instructors, I was actually worse than when I started. Now, I don't know why I kept playing, because I was this close to quitting. Because I was frustrated, I was confused, there was so much information out there. There was nothing simplifying the golf swing. It was all complicated. Every instructor that I worked with would tell me something different. One would tell me stand a long way from the ball. One would stay close to the ball. One would say lower your hands. One would say move your hands around. Take it back outside. Take it back inside. Take it back up. There was no consistency in any information. And so at the end of 1994, I was this close to quitting. That's when I met the man who saved my golf game forever. His name was Mo Norman. Now, here's what happened. I was so frustrated with my game that I decided that I'm just going to stop playing until I figure out how to get better. And I just took a job. I lost all my sponsorship. I wasn't playing professional golf anymore. I just wasn't good enough. And I'd gotten worse over that period of time. I was living in Dallas, Texas, and a friend of mine shows up with a videotape. And on the videotape is a reclusive, little-known man who is regarded as the greatest golfer that's ever played the game from Canada. But no one really knew about him because he was regarded as autistic. No one really got to know him very well. He was reclusive. He didn't go out. He didn't play that much on the PGA Tour. He played a little bit, but he just kind of kept to himself. But my friend comes back with this videotape, and he puts it on my desk. And I remember doing it in Dallas, Texas. He says, "Todd, you have to see this video." And it was Mo Norman hitting golf balls. And my friend turned to me and he said, "I just saw Mo. I was playing the Canadian Tour. I just saw Mo. And this guy hits the golf ball better than anybody I've ever seen." He used the term, he's a freak at hitting a golf ball, how good he is. And so I watched this tape and I immediately saw exactly what I needed to see. You remember, I'd been working with the best instructors in the world. I'd been learning a lot about the golf swing. Not that I could figure that out, the conventional swing, but I'd learned a lot about the swing. Then I saw Mo hit a golf ball, and what I saw on that videotape was the absolute simplest way to do it. Why? Because he was starting the club in the same place he was impacting. In other words, he had achieved what all golfers are trying to achieve. He achieved what you're trying to achieve and what I was trying to achieve. He mastered the ability to get to the moment of impact consistently. Anybody who tells you that they're a good ball striker, you see him, some of the guys on tour are good ball strikers. Mo Norman was the greatest ball striker. The reason they're so good is because they get to the moment of impact consistently. That's exactly what I want to help you do tonight, is show you what I saw in that videotape. And what I did was, from that moment when I saw Mo Norman and I saw his golf swing and I saw what he was doing to get to impact, I started training and learning exactly what he was doing. And then I was lucky enough to meet Mo Norman in 1994. He mentored me for 10 years and taught me everything that he knew about the golf swing, how he simplified it. And then I studied the biomechanics of it. I dug into what is the body actually doing to achieve what Mo Norman figured out. And I consider his golf swing a discovery. I call it a discovery because he actually figured out the absolute most efficient way to use the human body, this machine, and this tool, the golf club, to strike that golf ball. He figured it out. He figured out the easiest way to hit a golf ball on the ground with a stick. And that's what I'm going to do for you tonight. Now, there's two things that I want to cover tonight. One is I want to teach you the single plane swing. So that's what Mo Norman, his swing is a single plane. Now, I'm going to teach you the single plane swing. I'm going to teach you the positions of the single plane swing. I'm going to show you why it's easier, and I'm going to define it for you. And then the second thing I'm going to show you is how to learn it. Easy way to learn it. So I'm going to do two things for you. The reason you're here tonight is to show you the single plane swing, an easier way and the best way and fastest way to learn it. And remember, everything we're trying to do is to get to the most important moment, which is impact, right? That's the whole goal here. All right, so let's go through. I want to go through exactly what I would teach you. If I'm teaching you the single plane swing, let me show you exactly what I'm going to teach you. I'll do that with you right now. And it starts with address and grip. So I'm going to put these on the board so you have a reference here. So the very first thing I'm going to show you is the address and grip position. I'm going to put that up here. Address and grip. Now, notice how I said that, address and grip. I didn't say grip and address. If you're a conventional golfer, and let me explain what I mean by conventional golf, they've probably taught you to grip the club first. So with conventional golf, and this is the problem I had with conventional golf, is conventional golf, and this is what everybody's teaching out there, is teaching you to hang the arms below the shoulders and then grip the golf club. So they're teaching you to hang the arms down and grip the club. So they're saying grip the club like this and then hang the arms below the shoulders. So what happens is you look about like this. You look like your arms are down here and the club's like this. So now you're gripping the club and your arms are low and the club's low and your shoulders are very level like this. The problem with this address position is when you swing, and this is the problem that I was identifying when I was working with the best instructors in the world. They're all starting me from this conventional address position, what was happening is when I would go to impact, I would start here. When I would swing, I would impact on a much higher plane. So my body would lift and the club and the arms would lift. So I was starting low and impacting high. Now think about that for a minute. You're starting your arms down here, but that's not where you impact. Remember, the goal is to get to impact. So it was almost impossible for me to become consistent at impact starting here because this isn't where I impact, and then trying to find a way to swing it. Was I taking it outside? Was I taking it inside? Was I taking it up? Because I know it's not going to be impacting there. It's going to impact on a much different position. So my body had to lift. So I'm starting here, my body's lifting, I'm turning. There's a lot of complicated variable movements that must occur because of what I call the one mistake, which is hanging your arms down here below the shoulders in the conventional address. This is, how many of you out there, I mean, I engage people all the time. I like to get into the chat and talk to people. How many of you out there have learned this, the conventional address position, right? How many people out there have learned this? And so you probably, if you've taken lessons, this is what they teach you. I've even heard people say you can't stand too close to the golf ball, right? You can't stand too close to it. That's a big problem because you're going to have to get away from it because your arms are moving this club around your body. So the conventional golf swing has this one major flaw, and they keep having people grip the club first and then hang their arms below the shoulders. When I saw Mo Norman hit a golf ball for the first time, here's exactly what I saw. He wasn't doing that. What he was doing is he had the club here. Look at where the club is. See how it's lined up with my arms? And now watch this. When I take the club back and it comes down, it goes back into that same alignment right on the same plane. So he was starting and impacting on the exact same plane. Well, why does that matter? Because my body can now stay in its position. It doesn't have to do all these things. I've eliminated variables. Why? Why does that matter? Because not only am I trying to get to impact, I want to get there consistently, right? That's a big factor. So yeah, I don't want to get to impact once in a while. I want to get there to the same place every single time. The best ball strikers in the world, Mo Norman being that guy, guys like Ben Hogan and the best ball strikers get to impact the most consistently. Right? And so that's what we got to do. We got to get to impact consistently. So the first thing I would teach you is address and grip. Here's what I mean by that. I'm going to actually put your body, and by the way, everything I'm going to go through right now, you will say at the end of this program, here's what you're going to say. Everything that Todd said tonight is complete common sense. Complete common sense. So before I show you the address and grip, let's look at impact for just a second, because you're going to see that everything I teach you helps me get to impact. Every mechanical thing, every biomechanical thing I show you with the body, from address and grip to the positions of the swing, it's all to get to impact consistently. So let's take a look at it. So if I was to show you exactly where impact is, look at the position of my body here. You see this alignment of the club lining up with the arm. Look at how my body has a tilt. My my trail shoulder is lower, my lead shoulder is higher. I have this alignment. Look at the hand. The hand is in the direction of the target with the club face. Look at my trail arm, slightly bent. Look at my knee. I have rotation, but I'm also slightly bent with my knee. Look at my foot, it's on the ground. So look at my impact position here. That's where I would strike the ball consistently. Look at my head, slightly behind the golf ball. All right? Look at down the line. Here's impact down the line. Look at the club lining up with my trail arm. Look at my body position. Look at my shoulders. Look at my lead arm, slightly higher. So this is the ideal impact position. All good players get to this impact position consistently. Anybody who hits the ball well gets here. So the goal is to get to this position. Now watch. I'm going to teach you address and grip. I'm not going to have you hanging your arms down here. Why would I do that? Because that's not where you're going to impact. That would look like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put your body into a position. See, I just tilted. Put my arm into an alignment. And then I'm going to put the trail hand on. And look, I am almost exactly where I showed you at impact. See the difference? Nothing more than a rotational difference of lower body. So the tilt's the same, the alignments are the same, the trail arm alignment's the same. So I'm setting you up at address. Watch, I'll go from address to impact. See how simple that is? I'm setting you up in the exact same position as you're going to be at impact. Okay? So I address the body, then I put the hands on the golf club, address and grip. Now the next thing that I'm going to show you, and we can talk more about how the body is positioning, why the address and grip simplifies it. We'll do that in a second. I'm going to teach you the positions of the swing. I'm going to show you basically 6 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, why am I breaking this into 6 positions? I'm going to show you the checkpoints, what we look for when you swing the golf club to make sure it moves correctly, the club moves correctly. Well, why does the club moving correctly matter? Because that's where we're going to be at impact. We need the club to move to impact consistently. Every position of the swing I show you, we call it swing plane. It's going to reference our ability to get to impact. In other words, I'm letting the body move the most efficient way possible to get to impact. In other words, I'm unlocking your natural motion that's already inside of you. How am I doing that? Because I've already started you at address. I've already started you on the same plane you're going to impact. So now when I have you go to the backswing position 1, and then up, look at this, up to position 2. Look at this plane of this club. That's the same plane as I started. So I'm taking the club back, up onto the plane, right? Position 2. Transition, now it's going to come down on that plane to position 3, and then it's going to return right back to its plane at impact. So every position I'm showing you, even position 5 after impact, and even 6, look at the plane of the golf club at 6, every position I'm showing you references what we call swing plane. Well, swing plane is nothing more than the impact plane throughout the motion. Well, you're like, okay, Todd, I get it. Swing plane, it matters. Well, here's why it matters. Because what swing plane is showing you is the most efficient use of your body. Let's talk about that. What does it mean to use your body in the most simple, effective way? And I'll get into a little bit of biomechanics here. When I get into this, don't get confused and say, oh my gosh, she's so complicated. I'm simply showing you that if you put your body in the correct positions, that you can swing the club on plane and get it back to impact and square the face. Because that's what we got to do. We got to get to impact. Watch this. I'll give you some biomechanics here. Now, I like to do this when I show you the biomechanics of the swing. I like to do this because I want you to experience something you've never experienced before. No conventional golfer will ever have you experience this. I'm going to show you how built inside your body right now, you already have these biomechanics. So let's do it with the lead arm. Now, you'll notice that when I grip a golf club with the lead hand, and I put you in the address position, I tilt you, right? I tilt you at address, and I put your arm, this is called flexion. So I'm putting the arm in front of your body. See how my shoulder comes out? This is called flexion. And you won't be able to do this very well if you're not tilted. That's why I have you go into address position first, then into flexion. Now, what I want you to notice is I want you to look at how much rotation you have in your arm. Before you tilt, look how much rotation you have in your arm. Okay, so you can just do this with me if you want. Look how much rotation I have. Tons of rotation. Remember, at impact, I want the hand to be aiming at the target, square to the target, because when I have the club face, it's going to be square to this hand. So this hand, where this hand is at impact is very important, and I got to get there consistently, right? So how am I going to do that? I got so much rotation. Well, watch this. The minute I tilt my body and put my arm into flexion, you'll notice the back of the hand doesn't go as far. So I've limited it. So I've created a limitation. The tilt of my body creates a limitation. Now I want to do one more thing. Do this. I want you to turn your arm, your entire arm, after you tilt, I want you to turn it. This is called internal rotation. like if you have thumbs up, just turn your thumb straight down. That's internal rotation. Now I'm going to keep my arm in its position, upper arm. Don't move the upper arm, and only turn the lower part of the arm and the wrist, and watch what happens. It'll only go to the target. The back of the hand will only go to the target. So let me explain what I just did here. So if I do this, if I tilt the body and I have internal rotation of the arm and I keep it internally rotated, when I go to rotate my forearm, the face can only, club face, back of the hand can only go to the target. It's its limit. Okay, so I've limited, so I have a built-in limitation, a natural limitation of my arm built into it. As long as the upper arm is tilted, my body's tilted, and the upper arm is internal. So you're like, okay, how does that happen in the swing? Watch this. So when I show you the golf swing here, you're going to see exactly that thing occur. Remember, I got to get the face square every time at impact. Watch what happens now. So in my tilt, when I go into position 1 in the backswing, you'll notice I am getting internal rotation in the backswing. When I turn the body, this arm moves internal rotation and it goes to the top. That is internal rotation of the arm. That's the same thing as me doing this, right? If I turn the arm this way, that's internal. If I do this in the backswing, that's internal rotation. Now that's position 2. I transition, watch when I come down. See how this arm is staying internal rotation? That's me keeping this internally rotated, keeping it there. And watch what happens. I'm only going to do this to square a face. So I come down here to position 3. Look at this, internal rotation. Now watch this when I go to impact. Watch the club square. It can only square every single time because this is what I call stabilized, right? It's isolated because it's done this in the backswing. It stays like this, and the only thing that can square the face is this. In other words, I cannot not square the club face. It's going to square every single time. Tilt, backswing position, stays internal. Every single time I'll square the face because of the arm position. Now here's what's creating this. And this is a very important part of when I'm teaching you this. The positions that your body is in are creating the motion here. And creating your ability, your built-in natural limitations of your body are there because of positions. Watch this. If I lose the tilt, and a lot of people do this, conventional golf, you don't have the right tilt. And you swing the club and I lose my tilt, see this arm, you come over the top and you have too much range of motion. Now you slice the ball or hook the ball because now you've taken out the position of the arm where instead of being a square face, now it has too much range of motion. So now the face goes over there. So you're out of position. Positions are primary in what I'm talking about, learning positions. So you'll see what I'm doing here. I'm putting you in the most ideal position at address and grip for impact, and every position of the swing is to help you get to impact naturally with the way your body is designed. Now there's another thing I show you here. I show you, now that you have the positions of the swing and we're able to get the club on plane back to impact, we want to have sequence. We got to put it together. Why do we want sequence? Because I want to add speed. Right? We got to add speed. So we want to add speed because we want to hit the balls long distance. So this is the progression. I'm showing you the progression of learning here. Remember, I promised you a couple of things tonight. I promised to show you a simple swing, which I've done with a single plane swing. And now I'm showing you the exact order that I would teach you if you were here with me, or if you're working with our company teaching you the swing. I'm teaching you exactly how to learn it. Now there's one thing you have to understand about sequence. It's what I call the breaks. And this will make a lot of sense too. You cannot move the body quickly or produce club head speed or speed in the club if the body doesn't move with acceleration. We have to speed up the golf club. The only way I can speed up the golf club is to make sure that some parts of the body are staying still as other parts move. So watch me make a backswing really quick and I'll define this for you. So notice at address, my address and grip position, look at my alignments, look at my back of my hand to the target, look at my trail hand. My trail hand, by the way, is in a non-rotational motion. So this hand, because of my body position, is moving without rotation, simplifying the motion of the trail hand. So here I am at my address and grip. Now notice my leg position. Do you see how the legs are framed up? We call this sort of an A-frame. See how the legs are kind of framed up. When I go to make a backswing, I want you to watch my trail leg, my right leg. When I go backswing, notice how it doesn't move. See, I rotated around that leg. But notice, this leg moves in, my body's rotating, my arms are moving, but the leg isn't moving. So I have stability, I've stabilized around my trail leg. That's how I can make a backswing. I can't keep moving this leg or I would never make a backswing. I have to stabilize the trail leg and rotate around it. Make sense? Now watch this. When I go to transition and I go into the lead leg, I will stabilize this leg, right? And now I'll rotate around it. So now this leg is staying still as I rotate around it. So part of your body is stabilizing so the other part can move. Makes sense. That's what I call the braking system. Now it's happening throughout the swing motion. It happens with lower body. And now look at my tilt of my body, it's happening with upper body. Side bend of my upper body limits my rotation naturally, natural limit, so my arms can then accelerate. So you're seeing what's happening. I cannot sequence the body. Now this is a very important part of the program, so if you followed me this far, pay attention to this. I cannot sequence the body correctly or add speed if I don't have the positions of the body correct, because the positions produce the ability to sequence and brake and put the brakes on. It's the positions doing it. When you don't have the correct positions, you can't put the brakes correctly on the body, you can't sequence correctly, and you lose speed. How many of you out there want to produce more speed and acceleration, more efficiency? And you get to impact. You want to hit the ball longer. You know when you see good golf swings, how they swing the club, and you're like, man, it looks so effortless. See, this is why you want this club, this long club with this heavy head to do its job. You don't need to swing hard, you need to swing efficiently. And this club will do a ton of work for you if you're in the correct position. So notice, I want to make a very important point here about what I'm going through. I've shown you simple swing mechanics, the simplest way the body can work. There's no simpler way for the body to work. But now I'm showing you exactly how you must learn to do it. You must learn address and grip and positions. They're primary to sequence and speed. But I want to show you something else. So I just laid out for you my formula, by the way. This is I'm going to erase this at the top of the page here. This is what I call my progressive formula. This is the progressive learning formula. In other words, doesn't it make sense to learn it this way? Well, let me ask you a question. If you were going to learn to dance, let's say it's a 5-step dance, you don't learn all 5 steps. You learn step 1, then step 2, then step 3, then step 4, then step 5, right? Then that's learning how to position yourself, and then you put the steps together and you kind of learn the dance, and then you learn to sequence the dance, and then you have the dance once you add speed to it. Progressive training, progressive formula. What if I was going to have you play the piano? What would you do? You wouldn't just play the piano. No music would happen. You learn how to position yourself, where the notes are, the positions of the notes, where to put the hands to get those notes. See, you're learning the positions of the body, where the notes are. Then you learn how to play those notes together into a sequence, then you have music. See, that's a progressive way of training. So everything we learn in life is through progression, a progressive way. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. But that's not the way you learn to play golf. That's not the way I learned to play golf. Here's how I learned. I learned exactly backwards. I bet you somebody gave you a golf club when you learned to play golf. They gave you a golf club. You ran to the range with your buddies. You started swinging away. You're adding speed to the club. See, you're sequencing the body, but you don't know the positions. And now you're here today because you didn't learn the correct positions. You never learned the correct positions. And you've been fighting this problem, trying to quick fix it. You've been going on YouTube, studying books, whatever you're doing, watching, taking lessons, all because you learned backwards. Everybody learned golf this direction. They learned exactly opposite of the way you should learn to swing a golf club. And this is the way we all do it. We all run out thinking golf's easy. I'll grab the club and go swing away. You didn't learn the correct positions. Just think for a minute. I'm gonna give you an idea. Just think for a minute. If you had the perfect positions of the body, you're in perfect position. And now you can move through the exact positions that make impact easier. And now all you gotta do is add sequence and speed to that. You see, I can make the golf swing so much easier for you just by teaching you the correct positions, so now you can sequence and now you can add speed. See, this is how the body naturally needs to work. And by the way, the positions I'm putting you in are the way the body's already designed. I showed you the body is designed this way. Now, that is my progressive formula, but here's what's interesting about my formula. That this is the exact formula that I use to teach every person I've ever taught the single plane swing. This is the learning process. This is exactly what I've always done to teach people. Here's what's interesting about this formula. It's also the formula I use when I practice today. And I've been doing this now 30 years. This is the formula I use. Why? Think about it for a second. Let's say I go out and practice and I have not a great day. I don't have a great day hitting golf balls. Let's say I don't hit it good. Okay, I'm a little off that day. Maybe ball's going to the right or whatever. What I do is I go check my address and grip. Good. Check it out. Looks good. All right, now I'm going to check my positions. How's my backswing? Am I on plane? Because something's not getting the impact correctly, right? I check my ball position. I check the positions of my body. So I check this stuff. And I can identify where I'm having an issue. Is it in the backswing position? It'll be somewhere, and I'll solve my swing problem like that. Instantaneously, I'll find it. I never guess. And people call me all the time, and they'll ask me questions, say, hey, Todd, I'm hitting it to the right. Oh, hey, Todd, I'm hitting to the left. Hey, Todd, I'm not making good contact with the golf ball. What am I doing wrong? And I'm like, okay, let me run you through my formula. Let's look at your address and grip. Let's look at the positions of your swing. This is what all the coaches at the academy here do. We teach from this formula. We have a systematic approach to helping you. And by the way, this is how, for the rest of your life, I'm going to help you play great golf. Because I'm no longer... How many times do you go out to the range and just guess? I own an academy. By the way, I'm here staying at my academy. I go to the range, and every day I watch the guys out there, people that aren't students of ours that are using the range, and I watch them out there guessing away. They're just slashing away. They aim right, aim left. They're changing their grip. Why? Why are they making so many changes? If you know exactly what to do, you just keep doing exactly what to do. You don't make changes. I'm not a quick fixer. I'm a builder of great golf swings. That's what I do for people, and that's what this process is. Now, I've been doing this now for 30 years. I've been teaching thousands of people across the world through all my videos and programs and online and books. Been teaching them exactly this. My recent book, The Intelligent Golf Swing, goes exactly through all this. And my team came to me and said, "Hey, listen, this has been a while." They said, "Todd, if you had to teach people this, they were brand new to this. What would you do?" And I said, "Look, I'm not the kind of guy that says I can teach you in 3 days or 1 day, one lesson. It's not. I'll be lying." I said, "I need 30 solid days of consistent, progressive training. I need 30 solid, dedicated days." I said, "I know everybody can dedicate for the rest of your life. All I need is 30 days of your time, and every single day I would give you a piece of this puzzle that you put together in a progressive way for 30 days. So I put together a program called Single Plane 30. This is the training program of the intelligent golfer. This is the absolute most intelligent way. It's not only the most intelligent swing, the single plane swing, but it's also the most intelligent way that you can learn and develop your swing. And by the way, we're going to use this formula, obviously, in the program, and this is the formula you use for the rest of your life. So I put together Single Plane 30. This is the transformational program that will change your golf life forever in 30 days. Just like Mo Norman, he taught me, this will teach you to get to impact more consistently, and it will solve all your swing issues. So I'm here to do that for you. Now, let's look at week 1. This is what the program does. In week 1, of course, we go through address and grip. I mean, this is not going to be rocket science now. We go through the address and grip. I build the foundation in week 1. This means teaching you the elements of how to tilt your body correctly, how to get the lead arm into flexion, how to get the foot position matters. All these positions matter. How to get the lead arm and the hand in the correct position into its, we call it full range of motion. Get the club in the proper part of the hand. Create the alignments we look for, the alignment of the lead arm, the alignment of the trail arm. We teach you the foundation in week 1. That's the key. I can't get to the positions until we have the foundation. Guess what? Week 2, we teach you the positions of the swing, right? We get into the detail of how do you go from this address and grip position to position 1, and then position 2, change directions, transition, position 3, impact, position 4, extension 5, and position 6. Now, I just went through the position of the swing, but inside those positions, you have the breaks, because without the positions, you don't get the stability. You don't have the trail leg position, the feet, the proper tilt. All that's creating the natural breaks that are already inside your body. They're built into your natural design. I'm putting that's in the positions of the swing. But I want to ask you a quick question before we go to of course, this is week 3. We teach you how to sequence. But before I get there, I'm going to make a comment here. Notice how, I'm going to do this really fast. I'm going to go through each position of the swing. And I'm going to show you the perfect address and grip position, okay? Perfect address and grip. There's my alignments. Look at the alignment of the lead arm, alignment of the trail arm. Look at my foot position. Look how my body is tilted perfectly. Position 1. Position 2, there's leverage. I'm going to transition position 3. Impact 4. Look at that. Most important moment, right? Impact. Extension position 5. Hold that for a sec. And then back to the plane, position 6. So I just showed you every single position of the swing. I'm going to do it down the line. You're going to see the swing plane now. By the way, just so you know, this is the alignment ball position trainer, and I'm going to put a word up here, not to get crazy complicated with everybody. I'm going to put, feedback. But when you practice, you're trying to become consistent at hitting a golf ball. I want as much consistency in my training as I can get. So you're going to see this alignment ball position trainer. It's because I want the ball position of my feet in a consistent position. So proprioception is my body subconsciously picking up my awareness of where I am in space. So when I stand here like this, I'm picking up information, so I'm learning as I stand here. So I want to make sure this is all correct. That's why I'll talk about these training aids in a minute. So here's my address and grip. Position 1, watch the swing plane. Goes up plane, position 2. Transition, position 3. Look at the plane coming down, position 3. Impact 4. Extension 5, back to the plane, and then back to the plane on 6. So again, going through the positions of the swing. But here's my comment for you. Notice how I have no problem. I can perfectly hit each one of those positions. If you said, Todd, show me position 3, I can show you position 3. Todd, show me position 2. I can show you position 2. Show me position 6. I can show you position 6. Right? I can go exactly to every position perfectly. This is why this is important. What I'm showing you is that my practice and what I teach and what I've learned, that I have those positions that are in my subconscious. I've trained those. It's like you writing your name or you learning to walk. I know the positions that well because I've practiced those positions, position by position. That's why when I swing a golf club, I can hit those positions perfectly when I swing the club. Now, why is this important? Because if you can't do those positions and you're trying to swing the club fast, if you can't do those positions in slow motion, you will never be able to do them in fast motion. This is why you've struggled with golf, because no one ever taught you the correct positions of the body. And they teach you, swing away, swing your own swing, see what happens. What they're doing is they're saying, hey, set up in this weird way conventionally and then see if you can figure out how to get there. And maybe you'll figure it out. And you know what? The average male score today is still the same as it was 70 years ago. No one's improving in the game. Equipment's gotten better. Golf balls are much better. Golf equipment is much better. It goes farther. Golf courses are better. Greens are better. Fairways are better. Everything game's better except the golfer. Why? Because the method they're teaching you and the way they're teaching you are backwards. Everything's backwards. So I'm showing you right now that the only way you're going to improve, I'm going to make a very bold statement to you right now. The only way you are ever going to improve is to not only learn a simple swing, single plane swing, but you must learn the positions of where you're going. If you do not learn the positions, you will never get better. So you will learn very quickly in single plane through to my program that we focus heavily on positions as primary to ever getting to week 3, and then of course week 4, producing speed. So we teach you in this progressive formula. Now, this is the ideal way to learn, train, practice. I'm doing this in 30 days. One of the most important things I can do for you when you join the program is make you accountable to the training. If you don't do it, you're not going to get better, right? So we have what we call daily accountability. These are modules that we deliver to you every day. So when you get up that day, you have a task to achieve. Here's an example. Week 1, day 1. There's the training. Here's how to do it. And here's the goal. Notice 5 sets of 20 reps. So you'll notice that we have a certain amount of reps we want to do, because repetition, reps, this is a key component to training. Notice that when I show you these positions of my swing, right, I'm going to go to position 3. Do it again. I'm going to go to position 3, 2 to 3, 2 to 3. The more I do it, the better I get at it. So we're going to have you do reps of the positions. So look, this is the absolute best training you'll ever do in your life. You have never been through a program like this, because the golf industry has been doing this backwards forever. And now this is the first time you're seeing us finally, and we've been doing this now almost 2 years, the Single Plane 30 program. You're seeing the perfect way to practice. We're the first company to ever give people the absolute perfect way to practice and develop a golf swing. You got 2 things going for you. Number 1, it's the easiest, greatest swing you'll ever use. It's simple. It's the way the body is designed to swing a golf club. And number 2, we're teaching you how to learn it the fastest. That's why we can speed up the learning process in 30 days. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to add in a couple things. We're going to throw in a little bit of single plane fitness in the program as well. So for a limited time, for this next program, we're going to throw in single plane fitness. This is going to help you accelerate the learning of single plane. For example, when you get to this position, you're going to want to be stable in the lead leg. You're going to want the trail foot, rotation of the body. So we're going to help you learn a little bit about how the body works in the single plane fitness. It's targeted routines based on the single plane swing. So this actually accentuates and helps you accelerate the learning process. We're going to throw that in. It's a $197 program. Another part that's very important about the program is us supporting you. We're not just throwing you out there saying, good luck figuring this out, like most golf instructors do. We have coaches that are all standing by inside Single Plane Academy. They're going to help support you and give you feedback. You can post your pictures. We look at your swing and check out the things you're doing inside the academy. So we do Zoom sessions also once a week. We hop on and do a Zoom session with you where you can ask us directly questions about the training. So we're supporting that as well. Here's an example. For example, so students will post their picture. Look, he's right on plane there. So you'll submit pictures and we'll be able to give you some feedback on your training as well. So we're supporting you through the program. Now, our coaches are involved. That's the most expensive thing in the golf industry, is working with our coaches. Let's talk about the price of this package here. You have the 30-day program, which is the Single Plane 30. You got the daily accountability going on, so we're giving you access to the daily training modules. You have our coaching assessments and our support that's going on too. We have the weekly sessions for you. And you have the fitness routines. The entire value of this is $2,194. The program for the next month is $297. That's it. That's what we're charging you for the entire program. It's only $297. $297 to learn the progressive formula, teach you the perfect positions, and get you on track for the rest of your life. It's a minimal investment to play the best golf of your life. And here's the thing. We're going to give you a bonus here. I produced a journal. By the way, this is relatively new to the Single Plane 30 world. I put together a training journal. This tracks your progress. What we found was people in the program wanted to be able to really work through it and document the process. So I put together a Single Plane journal. We're going to give you tonight, for this $297, I'm going to give you a copy of the journal so you can track your daily progress inside the journal. Now, that's not all, though. I got some more bonuses for you for tonight. I'm also going to give you these training aids for half off. This is the alignment ball position trainer. This helps you get your, we'll go through these in a minute. The alignment ball position. You see me using the Feeling the Greatness Training Club. I'm going to go through these. And we have the Single Plane trainer. I'm going to explain these in just a second. But these training aids, the ones that I use to get ideal feedback in the training process, these are about, you can see the cost of the things, $160 for the training club. You got the alignment ball position trainer is $130. Basically, these things are over $400. Tonight, I'm going to save you. Let me give these to you for half off for tonight. That's an optional bonus for signing up tonight only. And then I got one more bonus for you. I know after you go through the program, you're going to want to take it out there, and you're going to want to go to the golf course and add some speed. But before you do that, I want to help you understand the difference between power and speed. I'm going to give you my Power Generation Masterclass. It's one more class that I've developed to help you take your new single plane swing and produce power and speed. That's another $497 value. So I'm stacking this up for you to give you your absolute best chance of learning a single plane swing, a simple swing, learning it in the most efficient way possible, and then using it in the most effective way possible. In the Power Generation Masterclass, obviously there's things you'll learn about. Once you have the technique correctly in your positions, you'll learn the difference between power and speed, how the body works. You'll learn how the lower body, now that you're able to stabilize the lower body, you learn how it actually works. You learn how to train and build power, so that's part of the fitness routines as well. And then you'll learn how to increase your speed when you want to. That's all in the Power Generation class. So that's another thing I've added to this program when you sign up. Now, let's go through these packages because I want to get you in next month's program. So for tonight only, here's what you're getting. You're getting the Single Plane 30 class, you're getting the training journal, you're getting the fitness routines, and you're getting the master class. All that value is about $2,700 for $297. Now, if you want the training aids, I'm going to go through these just at the very end here. If you want the training aids, I'm giving those at half off. So basically it's $3,140 value for $446. You got options. When you go to gravesgolf.com/enroll to enroll in the next month's program, we start this program at the beginning of every month. Just so you know. Why do we do it that way? Because we want to coach you for the month. We don't like people just randomly being here. So at the beginning of the month, we start the program. And then we have 30 days we coach you through it. So everybody's in the same place.
First Monday.
I was told it's the first Monday of every month, right? So we start the first Monday of the month. And we've been doing this now for 2 years. We've been running it every single month. We start at the beginning of the month. Now, before I get into some questions here, I got people putting questions here. I want to go through these training aids. I want to show you how valuable these things are. And by the way, we sell thousands of these training aids. And I'm giving to you these half off because I really think they're valuable for you to have these things when you start the program. The alignment ball position trainer, what you have to understand about training aids is they're tools that help you subconsciously learn. This alignment ball position trainer helps me get my foot position in the right spot. Basically, it's designed for, I'm using the 6-iron in the training, but it's designed for proper ball position, proper alignment based on what club you're hitting. So this is always on the ground with me when I'm training because I want my brain to understand where the ball is relative to my feet, relative to my tilt, relative to my alignment. So this is a very important tool for us when we practice. So our brain, remember, if I stand here like this with a golf club, and I just stand here, by the way, I'm not moving, I'm learning. Because I see things, I feel things. My body's in a certain position. So when I put myself in the proper address and grip, my brain is learning where it feels, how my arms feel, where I'm seeing things. I'm seeing my feet. I'm seeing where the ball is. You're learning. See, don't ignore the fact that just from standing in that address and grip position that you're not picking up information and learning. Every moment's a learning moment. That's why people have not improved much in golf because they just go out there and hit balls. They don't pay attention to the little details. And these little details we pay attention to in Single Plane 30. So that's the alignment ball position trainer. This Feeling of Greatness training club, there's a lot to this club. It has a proper grip on it, which allows me to get my orientation of my hand correct. It allows me to get the thumb position correct to create this alignment that we talk about in the address and grip, which creates a relationship to the club face. It also has some paint on here. The paint allows me to get the proper tilt of my body. It does that because of what I'm seeing, again, how I'm perceiving it. And it allows me to get the proper distance from the ball. So this thing, you learn about these things once you have them. We teach you how to use them. This training club. So combine this, helping my address position with my foot and ball position. Now I have a perfect tools to teach me the proper address and grip. All right. So now these tools combined together give me feedback on my address and grip. This is a very interesting tool. This is our single plane trainer. Now notice it has the same grip on it, which gets my hand position. Look what happens though when I grip this It creates this nice alignment. It creates what we call the lead side relationship. This is after you tilt the club to body relationship. Now I can work on the positions, right? Position 1, 2, 3, impact 4, right back to that most important moment. So this teaches me how to get the club on plane, because watch this, when I do the positions correctly, look at this thing go right on plane. Okay, so this is what we call a single plane trainer. So these 3 tools are really great tools for us to get you the feedback you need to get the most out of your training. So I'm giving you those tonight at half off, tonight only, right? Tonight only. Okay, let's take some questions here. Is the trail arm more bent at impact than setup? Yes. So, who is that, Bill? Yeah, Bill. Okay. So the trail arm, and what happens is, I'm at address. So, by the way, the trail arm is what Mo used to call the sunny side up. It's relaxed. Shoulders, look at the shoulder back here on the plane. And so when I take the club back and I come down, when I strike the golf ball, the trail arm will be bent. That's because the body has some rotation to it. The arm is bent. The trail arm will not be fully straightened until we call position 5 after impact. It straightens through impact. That's where the speed is coming from. Bill, you've probably been losing speed because the arm is probably straight or you're hitting behind the ball. So because of the proper tilt of the body and the rotation of the body, the arm must stay bent. That's where the power is in that trail hand, yes. This is a good question from Frank. I can't get to the range. The entire single plane, here's a beautiful thing about single plane 30. It's all done indoors. You can do this in your house. You can do it, just make sure you got furniture out of the way, because we do want you kind of moving the golf club. But we do this training in your house. We don't do it on the range. Why? We're teaching you how to change the positions of your body. We're teaching you how the body works. What's primary, remember, positions are primary. Ball striking is a result. When you see the ball fly on the range, when you try to hit golf balls, you're getting a result. We don't want that result right now. The result we're trying to get in single plane 30 is we're retraining your body. We're transforming your body into perfect positions. Once you achieve perfect positions, then you can sequence and add speed. So we got to get the positions down. We can do that all indoors. That's the entire program is done indoors in single plane 30. Here's another question we get quite often. Will I lose speed with a single plane swing? Actually, I've seen most people gain speed. Now, let me say this cautiously. Hitting the ball solid, being great at impact, gains consistency. You compress the ball, and the ball will sometimes go farther. So it's not always speed that people are gaining, but what I've seen is people gain distance because they just get better. So, people say you lose speed. I've never seen, matter of fact, I've only seen people get better and gain speed, but most importantly, I see them gain consistently and being more consistent in impact, which is the key fundamental here to hitting the ball solid. Here's another question. This is pretty good. Bill's asking a lot of questions. I'm in the off season. Different Bill. Should I wait for SB30? I'm going to put this on the board for a second. Guys, look. I think I want to change your perspective on practice. Let me use an analogy here. If you're going to work out, right, fitness, right, you're going to go stay in shape. You can't just go to the gym for a month and then the rest of your life you're in shape. It doesn't work that way. You go to the gym, you learn how to train, and then you have a routine. And those routines at the gym keep you in shape. Is that correct? So I do that, right? I learn how to get in shape. I learn how to lift weights. I learn how to get in shape. And now I have a routine that keeps me in shape. That's exactly what single plane 30 is. Single plane 30 is going to teach you exactly how to swing a golf club. It's going to get you in shape. It's going to get your golf swing in shape. And then it's also going to be the routine that keeps you in shape. That's the beautiful thing about this program. That's why I want you to learn it. That's why when you go through it for 30 days, you'll learn exactly how to move your body, exactly how to move a golf club, exactly what you need to do. Right? That's my goal. You'll have a perfect golf swing. And you'll also have a perfect way to stay in shape. Keep your golf swing in shape. You've never seen a program like this before. This is the program. This will define the way golf is taught for the rest of golf right here. Matter of fact, you'll see other teachers copying this whole thing. They're going to try to build progressive training formulas out of the training. If they don't, they're stupid. They should do it. You should see a lot of instructors out there trying to copy this progressive training because it's the only way you're going to get better. Now they're going to be maybe not teaching you a single plane swing, but they're going to be trying to copy how we're training this, because this will be the most fundamental way you can train. Not only because it's a great way to learn the swing though, it's also the way you maintain your swing forever, right? So I'm giving you your lifetime solution for golf right now. Here's another question. When I do hit a golf ball, I have a slice 60% of the time. What should I look for? This is a good question. Watch this. So let's do this. So let's say you go out and you practice, or you're out there getting results. You're on the range, you play around on the course, and you're getting some results, right? And you don't get the results you want. Happens to be occasion. I go out there and maybe I hit a few bad shots. What do? 60% of the time I have a slice. Okay, let's find out why. Let's look first at your address and grip. All right, so I'm going to use my formula, and this is the only way I would ever do this with you. I would take a video of your swing, I would take a look at it, I would say, oh, your address and grip look great. So it's not your address and grip. Great, check it off. Let's look at your backswing. Position 1. No, it looks okay, you're in good in position 1. Oh, position 2. Club face is open. Maybe I find something in position 2. See, I have found the problem. And so what you're seeing is, or maybe it's position 3. We're going to find it somewhere in here. We're going to find out why you're slicing the golf ball somewhere in the formula. But here's the thing. This is called a causal approach. I'm going to put that up here. C-A-U-S-A-L, causal. Causal approach is we're going to find the cause of the problem. We're not going to just try to stop you from slicing. We're going to find exactly why something's going wrong. You've got a position wrong. Something's happening in the motion. We're going to find exactly where it's at. Why are we doing it that way? Because once we fix that, we fix the problem. We fix it in the correct order. Because you're slicing the golf ball, and what people do is they go close the face, or they aim right, or they aim left, or they do all these things. That's just a Band-Aid. We don't do that here. We build great golf swings here. We build consistent golf swings. We get you to impact consistently, and we keep you there, and we do it with our progressive formula. So it doesn't matter what problem you have, hitting it fat, hitting it, slicing it, hooking it, doesn't matter. Use the formula. We'll find it, and we're going to solve exactly the problem for that. So you can see how this formula is going to be what you use for the rest of your life. You're going to have a perfect model, a perfect swing, and a perfect way to fix your swing if you ever have a problem. That's what the beautiful thing about single point 30 is. Let's go through this one more time. Guys, for tonight only, you get the manual, you get the journal, the training journal, or you get the deal of the century on the training aids for $446. So tonight you pay $297, get the journal, or you get the training aids for half off and the journal, $446. Go to gravesgolf.com/enroll and join me for next month's program, because I want to help coach you through this and teach you the greatest program, the single point 30, to get that natural swing to come out of you, and it'll teach you the best golf game for the rest of your life. Oh, by the way, before we wrap up here, we have a level 3 membership winner. We always give away a membership. This is a year's worth of coaching to those of you that sign up for tonight. Oh, we give away a level 3 membership. The name that won the winners on the screen there, we'll get in touch with you, and you're now a member for 1 year of our coaching program. So congratulations for your level 3 membership. We'll be getting in touch with you. Okay, so let's go through this one more time. For tonight only, you're getting the entire single plane 30 course. You're getting the training journal, $29 value. You're getting the fitness programs and the masterclass, all for $297. Or if you want to take advantage of the half off the training aids, these tools we use for feedback, you can add the training aids in. The entire bundle is $446. We'll get those out to you. If you want to join the program for us next month, go to gravesgolf.com/enroll, and I'll see you inside the program.
What is happiness? Happiness is achievement. What's the father of achievement? Motivation. What's the mother? Encouragement. The fine golf swing is truly achievement. Man may lie, cheat, and steal for gain. These will never gain the golf swing. To gain the golf swing, man must work. It's work without toil. For those of us who know and love it, golf is truly happiness.